All right, this video is over approximating square roots. We're on level 1 right now. And the thing that will be really helpful for you guys as you're completing this topic is to keep in mind your perfect squares. If you're not sure, okay, 1 times 1 is 1, okay? And that means that 1 squared equals 1, or the square root of 1 is 1, okay? It's a lot of ones that I'm talking about here. So 2 times 2, or 2 squared, that's 4. So the square root of 4 is 2, okay? Those are other names for those numbers. 3 times 3, or 3 squared, is 9. The square root of 9 equals 3. So going through and remembering what those are, square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 25 is 5. Okay, keep this list handy as you guys are going through and completing this topic. Okay, and I'm going to go through and just do a couple of them all the way up to the square root of 100, which we all should know is 10, right? Okay, so here's my list. This is going to be a quick reference. So the questions on this topic are going to ask you between which 2 consecutive whole numbers, and these are my whole numbers. Consecutive just means in a row. So am I between 3 and 4? Am I between 6 and 7? It depends. They're going to throw out a perfect square root, and then you're going to have to say, oh, that would be between 4 and 5, because look, another name for 4 is the square root of 16. Okay, another name for 6 is the square root of 36, right? So if I get like some number maybe between 36 and 49, if they say, what's the square root of 39? I know that that's between the square root of 36 and 49. So I know the answer is going to be between the whole numbers, the consecutive whole numbers, 6 and 7. So it's kind of like a little puzzle. So this first question says, between which 2 consecutive whole numbers does the square root of 70 lie? Fill out the sentence below to justify your answer and use your mouse to drag the square root of 70 to an approximately correct location on the number line. They're going to be a little forgiving, but you still have to get it in the right general area. So the square root of 70, well, if I look at my list right here, look at all these square roots. Where would 70 fall? What would fall between 64 and 81? So the square root of 70 is somewhere in there. Is it, oh, sorry, I removed right here, okay, because 70 is between 64 and 81. It's about halfway between them, but it's a little bit closer to the 8. So it might be like 8.4 or something, not quite in the middle. Even 8.5, I bet they would let you put it around there. So another name for the square root of 7 is about 8.4 something, and you could put it on your calculator if you wanted to, but you need to be able to do it without a calculator, because on iLearn they will not let you use a calculator for a problem like that. But you can confirm it by pressing a magic button, right? And it's 8.3666, so on. So I was pretty close to 8.4, right? So what you have to do is, since the square root of 70, you have to pick those 2. This is a weird part. It's sometimes just the formatting. And I'll just show you because it's already written on the next page. Since 64 is 8 and 81 is 9, okay, which I just showed you on my list, 70, the square root of 70 is going to be between 8 and 9. So that's how you're going to fill out that. You're going to take the lower number in its perfect square, or the square root of it, and then the upper number, okay, and say, well, since this equals this and this equals that, then my number has to fall between those 2 numbers, okay? And that's going to help you. They give you a little bit more of an explanation as well if you need that there, okay? So just be aware of the formatting, and that's going to probably be where's your biggest enemy. So on this next one, we're looking for the square root of 13. Well, I'm going to go back to my handy dandy list. 13 is between 9 and 16. So I know that if the square root of 13 is between there, it's a little closer to the 16. So it's going to be a little closer to 4 than 3. So maybe 3.6, 3.7, something along those lines. Okay, and that's how I approximate it. So I'll say, since the square root of 9 is 3, and since the square root of 16 is 4, I know that the square root of 13 has to go between them. And that's all you have to do. Good luck.